If you're like me, you like to watch TV when you're bored, but no one really watches TV anymore. The only reason people go on to actual TV is to watch sports and the news. Sometimes just sports. Anyways, what I do is I go on my phone, iPad, or laptop, and I watch Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, or Disney Plus. Something along those lines. And I pick a show. I like a lot of shows, so here are my top 5 shows that I'm watching right now. They're not really in any order. I'll put the streaming service next to the names. Here we go. Number 5, The Fresh Prince of BelAir. In West Philadelphia, born and raised, in the playground is where Will spent most of his days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing all cool, shooting b-ball outside of school. When a couple of guys were up to no good, started making trouble in his neighborhood, he got in one small fight and his mom got scared. So he had been moved with his aunt and uncle to BelAir. The show is about Will. He's one of the great characters. Also, Uncle Phil, who's a great father figure. Carlton, the dynamic between him and Will is pretty great. It's kind of like an opposites attract thing. There's a lot of heartfelt moments in the show, like Bullets Over BelAir and Papa's Got a Brand New Excuse. Papa's Got a Brand New Excuse is like the episode where Will's dad leaves and then he goes on with that monologue everyone remembers when he says he doesn't need his dad, and then, yeah, it's all sad and stuff. The comedy's really great. That seems to be the main part of the show. It's good. Drake and Josh, number 4. It's a show about 2 stepbrothers, Drake and Josh. Josh is like the smart kid. Drake is like the cool kid. And they get into crazy stuff with each other. They have a little sister named Megan. And Megan's always pulling pranks on them. And it's funny. There's some great episodes are like Josh's Gun, Foam Finger, and Treehouse. The show's strong points are like the characters, the comedy, and the dynamic between Drake and Josh. A character I like is Crazy Steve. He's really funny, so yeah. Number 3, regular show. That's not an appropriate title. I guess that's the joke. Anyways, the show's about this blue jay named Mordecai and this raccoon named Rigby, and they get into weird stuff. Like they fight geese, go into space and all that. There's an episode where they get in a rap battle with Tyler, the Creator, and Childish Gambino, which is pretty cool, I guess. There's this character named Skips I really like. He has like a backstory episode, and it's like really deep, and it's crazy as well, you know. So yeah, the strong points of the show are like the comedy, the character development, and the plots. They all are really good. Next one. Number 2, Family Guy. Family Guy is a show about Peter and his family, his wife Lois, his daughter and son Meg, Chris, his baby Stewie, and the dog Brian. My favorite characters are like Brian and Stewie. They're really funny. Their dynamics are great. Some great episodes are like Back to the Pilot, where it's like a time travel-esque thing. And Then There Were Fewer is like an episode where like they're trapped in a house and like someone's a murderer and they're trying to figure it out. It's really great. It's a great mystery episode, and this isn't really like one single episode, but the Star Wars episodes are like episodes where they will parody episodes of the Star Wars saga thingy. Like, it's really funny. Like, there's a lot of good jokes in there. The strong points of the show are the comedy, definitely, the variety of characters. I'd recommend the early seasons to someone who wants to watch the show. The cutaways, which are like parts of the show where they'll just like be like, Peter, do you remember that time you fell in a wishing well? Oh yeah, I remember that. Number 1, The Office. You've heard of this show, but just in case you haven't, it's a show about an office. And now I know it sounds boring, but it's really not. It's really hilarious. It's like a mockumentary style thing. What I hear from people is why they didn't like the show is because they probably got into the first season, which I wouldn't blame them. That's how you would usually start off a show. But the first season is one of the 3 weakest seasons of the show. Like, the other 2 would be season 8 and season 9. And maybe that's also where other people got in, the later seasons. They were like, oh, let me look at these later seasons. They're like more relevant. Maybe they got better. But season 8 and 9 aren't as good as like the better seasons, like season 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. Those are great ones. Some great episodes are like the dinner party, stress relief, the delivery, and Niagara, and the finale. The finale is like very heartwarming, I guess. So there's some great comedy, great writing. There's these things they do called talking heads, where they take a character into a room and they ask them about what they think of the situation, and it adds like a great amount of comedy to what they're filming. So it's really good. And those are my top 5 TV shows I'm watching right now. I definitely recommend them. Again, the streaming services were under the names, so boom.